Now I'm going to talk about the pilot, or the original pilot, of the show Rugrats, which is actually called Tommy Pickles and the Great White Thing. Now, this pilot was made in about 1990. It is actually, it's kind of a good amalgamation of what makes season one cool. You get a lot of Tommy just like not talking really. It's just like him doing like funny baby things. He does talk a little to Phil and Lil, but that's about it. And then it gets kind of, he messes with the toilet. He puts too much stuff in it, destroys the bathroom because he wants to investigate what this toilet thing is because he sees Grandpa uses it. And it shows the baby's curiosity and stuff like that. What I like about this is it reminds me of the sketchier, weirder style of early Rugrats, which is something I'm a big fan of. What I was surprised to find out in this is this was actually directed by the creator of Aeon Flux, Peter Chung, who also helped design the characters of the Rugrats, which I didn't know until now. One of the people in the Discord, Kwanzaa, I believe their name is, actually showed me a picture of the design sheet of Tommy Pickles designed by Peter Chung, and it kind of gives it that kind of weirder style, and no wonder it had this weirder style at the beginning because they'd later redesigned them at a certain point, but Peter Chung had worked on them, and a lot of actually cool animators worked on this. Brad Bird worked on this. That same Discord user said that he did the one shot of the woman on the TV. I'll just take his word for it. David Silverman also animated on this as well, but it really has a nice fluidity to it. It has a nice flow to the whole thing, which I think shows Peter Chung's involvement. Some of the scale makes no sense. Like there's one part where Tommy's like rolling on a ball, and then there's another part where the ball's like significantly bigger than Tommy out of nowhere. Like I don't know. I think they're just sort of being weird. Maybe that's Peter Chung and stuff like that. It kind of has a cool vibe to it. It does have like Paul Germain helped write it, which, he would be kind of one of the bigger creative writers on Rugrats. You can watch a whole Saber Sparks video that I helped work on, which I'm very proud of about that whole drama. But it kind of shows you the real promise of season one and what I like about it, because you get like Tommy going on an adventure, him like thinking something's really magical the way a baby would, like playing on that thing. But you also get like what Rugrats could have been, because what you presume are Phil and Lil's parents are designed completely differently than they would on the show. You see them at the table with Stu and Dee Dee, but you don't really know like who those people are. I'm assuming they're Phil and Lil's parents, but they don't look like how you normally see them. And the logo actually for Rugrats is radically different as well, which I found to be really interesting. And the other interesting thing about this is, despite like this pilot, like I don't remember it airing, apparently it was released on DVD, the end part was used as Nickelodeon bumpers, because the part where they're watching TV so basically the plot of this, Tommy gets obsessed with this toilet because Grandpa used the toilet, and he's like, what's this weird thing? Tells Phil and Lil about it. He tries to investigate at night. He makes a big mess of the whole bathroom, clogs the toilet. The grown-ups get in an argument, or he goes to the TV. The grown-ups find out about the bathroom. They get in a big argument. Grandpa, Dee Dee, and Stu. And then Tommy is watching the TV. And although you see images in a rock video and he's dancing to it in the actual pilot, what they do with Nickelodeon is they would take out the rock video, or they superimpose the Nickelodeon logo with it. So instead of that natural thing which I grew up with, you actually see him rocking out to a video or changing channels and stuff like that, which was kind of interesting. So most of you have actually seen parts of this pilot before if you watch 90s Nickelodeon. I like this weirder, sketchier style from Rugrats. I always like that kind of style more. I like the kind of experimental kind of vibe to it, even though it's not actually, it works in the best way kids entertainment does, where it's kind of weirder and stranger, but it also is very straightforward and so forth. And I think Peter Chung did that very well. He did leave working on Rugrats and, did his own thing. I sort of wish we could have seen more of his Rugrats. I don't believe he directed any of season one. I honestly really wish he had. But having a Rugrats episode, which was done by him and Brad Bird and David Silverman and all the regular Rugrats creative team, is kind of like a dream thing. I like never thought there'd be a cartoon like that. But they also worked on the Simpsons shorts and the early Simpsons, Classy Shupo and Paul Germain. So that's probably how he got Brad Bird and David Silverman. Some of Peter Chung's choices were weird. Like he has a shot coming from, I think it's Phil or Lil's mouth for like no reason. I guess there's like no reason for that shot. Like he also storyboarded it as well. He designed it He helped design them, he storyboarded it, and he directed it. He really helped out Class V Shupo, who do not sound like they were easy people to work with, from my understanding. And some of the short reminds me of sort of Baby Herman-esque stuff, especially when he's messing around in the bathroom. This is an interesting, odd kind of thing, but it makes me really interested in more you could see from this, because this does feel like a cool premise, like Tommy messing around. As ToonJ723 reminds me, Peter Chung actually animated the opening credits, which that is insane. I didn't really see. This is way more Peter Chung, this pilot, than the opening credits. You almost don't notice he did the opening credits. Peter Chung, I know, does a lot like behind the scenes more than people realize. When they're like, what happened to him for a while? He's like, he does work pretty consistently, actually. This was an interesting pilot. It's probably one of my more favorite Rugrats discoveries recently. And even though I did a big Rugrats deep dive when I was working on that Saber Sparks What Ruined Rugrats video, this was kind of a cool surprise, because I am more of a fan of the early seasons, and I really do like that style. And to see this go, if you like that weirder, sketchier style of early Rugrats, this is the extreme you kind of want it to go in. And although currently we're going to have a reboot that's going to push it in the exact other direction, artistically at least, in terms of design and so forth, it's nice to see what Peter Chung and all these really talented animators and a group you'd never see come together again, which is one of the things I really like about that wonderful time in animation where you had all these like amazing creative people who, you know, would all work together and would go off and have these amazing careers. And I think it shows you like the promise of that group and that era, but also like how cool of a concept Rugrats was, even from the pilot, which honestly makes it even weirder and more experimental than I even realized the early seasons were. So I think it shows you like how cool that early era was, and this pilot almost makes it a weirder, cooler, weird short. So.